This is my new desk, and I can literally control it from shortcuts. I spent an entire day taking apart my studio and replacing my old desk with this new one from Desky. Not only is it motorized, can hold up to 300 pounds, but it has a beautiful hardwood top, which I wanted to upgrade for all of the videos that you might see in the background. It has way better cable management and power options, and because it integrates with shortcuts, I can now from a single scene get my studio ready to film and set my desk at the perfect height with a single tap. Let me show you again because it's really cool. My friends over at Desky hooked me up and sponsored this first part of the video. But then I'm going to give you an entire tour of my desk setup, including the arms, the lights, cameras, and everything I use to make content every day. Did I almost lose my mind taking apart my entire studio? Yes. But was it worth it? Also yes. After taking everything off my old desk, including all the clamps, microphone, cameras, and monitors, got it out of the office, and then started assembling the Desky desk. There's lots of different wood options. I chose the pheasant wood. I love the different textures and colors. It's going to be much more interesting in the background of my videos. And I even love this front edge of the desk because it kind of has a natural wood curved look in places. Just absolutely love the quality. And it's thick enough where you can screw in different accessories. So like my keyboard tray, I screwed that right into the desk, no problem. And putting it together was super fast. I used the tools that came with it. I have a pretty small studio considering, but I was able to build it like a ship in a bottle in here, flip it over, and start getting it ready to set up. The lifting mechanism feels super solid and high quality, and it has multiple programmable options, which I'll show you in a second, which makes it perfect so I can have a sitting, standing, and even filming setups. Everything I had clamped on the desk before, my cameras, lights, monitors, everything was able to move to the new desk. And you can also get it with a beautiful monitor stand, which would be great if you use an iMac or you have one of the tabletop stands on your studio display. Monitor stand also matches the desk perfectly and is that beautiful hardwood as well. I've used a VESA-mount studio display for a long time, and that works great on the back of this too. I also got all the hardware in black. I kind of like that better than what I had before. And the controller right here looks super sleek. You can raise and lower it just by tapping and holding, raises and lowers super smoothly. I have my programmable modes here. 1 is sitting, 2 is standing, and so I can just press 2 and it starts lifting. And if you ever want to program another height, you just press the M key and then another button and you're good to go. You can even get stand reminders from the desk and it'll send you a notification on your phone using the Desky app. Let's go back down because it's just kind of fun to watch it go up and down. But as I was putting it together, I also loved the power options you can get. Not only can you get a cable management tray that goes on the back of the desk, but it comes with these multiple outlet and USB-C and A ports, and they easily just click into that cable management tray. Then I was able to plug in multiple devices. I had several hubs before that I could just plug into the USB-A and USB-C ports. And all the power outlets that you click in, all attached to one connector, and then you just have a single cable going down and to the wall. Now you can also add your desk via Bluetooth to the Desky app. You can see it there. You can see how many minutes you've been standing for the day and even set goals of how long you want to stand, and it can keep track of that for you. Then there's a bunch of preset settings that are just one click away. You can turn on or off the light here on the controller using the app. You do have voice control using Siri shortcuts, which I'll show you in a second. You can turn on child lock. It also has anti-collision sensitivity, and you can set desk maximum height and minimum height, which I did because as it raises, I do have a bunch of arms up here, including my B-roll camera, this microphone arm, and I was able to set the maximum height. This way I never have to worry about it hitting those things. And if you turn on voice control, you can add all these different options to shortcuts. You can add simple up and down commands or add anything you program to the memory here as a shortcut. You can also add locking your desk height as a shortcut, turning on or off the light, setting reminders, and more. And then once you add those shortcuts to the shortcut app, they do show up as kind of single action shortcuts, but then you can add these to your other shortcuts. So for instance, here's my done recording shortcut, and I can add the run shortcut, and then I can run that Desky Memory 2 shortcut, which is the standing position. So if I run this shortcut, it's actually going to turn off all my filming lights. The desk is actually going to start raising automatically. You'll see my blackout shades will raise here, and the desk started going up all on its own. I never thought I could have a desk connected to shortcuts, and now I do. It's pretty awesome. And similarly, I have a get recording shortcut, and this one actually changes things like the brightness on my phone, sets my HomeKit scene, so I could do recording video, set my screen to never lock, starts lowering my desk so it's ready to film as I'm sitting down, and I turn off auto brightness here in the display settings. And also that same shortcut can set my HomeKit scene, which turns on my filming lights, lowers my blackout shades, and I'm ready to film. You'll be seeing a lot of this desk in the top-down shots of my videos, and frankly, I think it looks really good. You can check out Desky using the link in the description below. And let me show you around the rest of my desk. First up, I do like a keyboard tray. This is a cheap one from Kensington. I'll put links to this and the other stuff I talk about down in the video description. I still use the Keychron Q2 Max Keyboard. Really like this with the little knob to adjust volume, and I can also click it to mute and unmute. I still keep a Magic Keyboard behind it so I can do Touch ID. And yes, I do use the Magic Mouse. I actually like it. Whenever I film, I have all my little pins up here that I might set up in the background, including challenge coins from Relay.fm, Grove Made knife for opening up boxes, and Apple TV remote for the Apple TV. Which, getting to on the desk, of course I have my Shortcuts Model Action mug. You can get that on my Shortcuts merch, link below as well. I do have the Aqara G5 camera over there. I just don't know where else to put that, and so I just consider it a security camera here. Pair of HomePods also on the desk, ATEM mini switcher, and over here I got my Apple TV Mac Studio OWC external SSDs. I always edit off external SSDs. I never save footage to my Mac Studio, so these come in handy. The top one is a 4 terabyte, which is my main one that's on right now. This is the Anker retractable USB-C charging dock. It's got a retractable cable on each side. I just like the convenience of just having this on the desk, and I put a 3M strip to stick it to the desk. This way I can pull on these cables and I don't have to worry about the charger actually moving around. I can charge my iPhone, my MacBook Air, my iPad, all of that. I also keep this Anker Prime big power bank there just because, so yeah, that's there. And I did just get a Stream Deck, but get subscribed because I'm currently customizing this. I've managed to program a mute switch for my channel when I'm podcasting, plus I can swipe over and I have different scenes right here that I can get ready to film, so stay tuned. More on that coming and what I'm automating. For podcast mic, I still use the Earthworks Ethos, and that's connected to the Elgato low profile arm clamped to the side of the desk. And I do have a little headphone clamp here. I don't use over-the-ear headphones pretty much ever at the desk, but it has this little headphone extension, which is where I plug in my in-ear headphones when I record Primary Technology. Got my in-ear headphones right down here. You can subscribe to Primary Technology, by the way. It's here on YouTube or in your podcast player, link below. Also, side note, if you're going to be using a standing desk, you definitely have to get one of these little rocker foot things or whatever. Standing with your flat feet, for some reason it's fatiguing on your feet and it's hard to stand for long periods. With this thing, I could stand for a few hours and it's just fine. So get you one of these. I'll put a link to Amazon down below as well. Got my other HomePod in the stereo pair on the left and the Rodecaster Pro 2 that's powering my podcast mic and my video filming mic, which we'll talk about in a second. I have a cheap BenQ monitor up here. This is my multi-view where I can see my camera, my B-roll camera, that's the top-down shot. Plus I have my Mac Studio as an input on that Blackmagic ATEM switcher, and I have the Apple TV over there. This way, if I ever want to do a video about Apple TV features or install the beta and check it out, I can do everything right here from the multi-view. My camera, the A7 IV right there from Sony, it's lasted me the last 3+ years. I still love it. The A7 V just came out. I watched Gerald Undone's review, which was very good, and I'm tempted because the recording time on the A7 V is much better. Has better heat management, and so it can record like 4, 5, 6 hours in 4K 30 or 4K 60. And my A7 IV will overheat and stop recording in about an hour, 15 minutes. So if you record for long periods of time, I would look at that new A7 V. It comes out this month in December. But if that recording time is not a priority, the A7 IV is still a beast, and you can get it for under $2,000 now since the A7 V is out. Of course, my studio display monitor, and I got a little webcam up there. That'll be in a future video coming soon. Also clamped to the desk, I have this dual arm thing, my fill light, which is the Elgato Key Light Air. That's on one arm. And then I have my overhead mic that I record every video with, and I like having it on this arm because I could swing it over. I place it about here when I'm recording, and then I can just swing it away when I'm not recording, and it's out of my field of view. I also have my B-roll camera, which is a Sony a6400. That's mounted to the wall. Thankfully, I didn't have to swap that out when I changed out the desk, but that's still doing great. I don't see a reason to upgrade the B-roll camera anytime soon, but I don't know, maybe if I cave and get that A7 V, we'll see. And my key light, Amaran 200X right there. It's on an Eve smart plug in the back. So all my lights are on smart plugs and everything can be controlled with HomeKit running the scenes. Of course, got a bunch of sound panels on the back wall, sound panels on the side. And that's pretty much everything on the desk. But get subscribed to the channel because I'm going to do more behind the scenes videos of my workflow, but also that Stream Deck that I just got. They actually sent me that as well, and I'm going to be programming that with shortcuts, different scenes for filming, figuring out what I can do with those knobs. So I'll be featuring that in a video very soon. If you have any questions about my setup or recommendations for yours, let me know down in the comments. If you want to see a behind the scenes of how I cover an Apple event, including all the apps that I use for things like screen recording, for making the video and podcasts after the Apple events, check out my video on all of that right up here. And if you're into shortcuts, you know I do a ton of them here on the channel, or maybe you don't know. This might be the first video you ever watched from me. Let me know in the comments, is this the first video you've ever seen from me? But you can check out my latest shortcuts featuring Apple Intelligence right here. I actually have a whole playlist of like 60+ videos. So yeah, just binge all those. I think you'll enjoy them. But if it's your first time watching my videos or 300th time, Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.